Let's get started.
J.C. Sherbert. Woo! 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 Woo!
May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
The electricity here in Columbia, well, has been buzzing loudly all weekend.
Passion of the crowd in Williams-Brice Stadium is second to none.
And the rain breaks out in Columbia.
It is good!
Gamecock fans, welcome home.
See how it goes, but we'll be ready to go.
It's time to root.
South Carolina! It's gone! Touchdown! What a hit! He baked it in! Can you believe it? Gamecocks have won this game!
Here are your hosts, J.C. Sherbert.
Oh, watch him celebrate now!
Phil Molinex.
My wife doesn't like hanging around losers.
And Jamie Bradford.
I'm going to tell you look like you joined Duck Dynasty.
You could mistake that Gamecock chant for what you heard last night at Founders Park as South Carolina batted the Tigers right out of the ballpark. Greetings and good early morning and happy Good Friday and Easter weekend. Welcome aboard Inside the Gamecocks, the show live from the Sinorama Studios. If you are just flipping through social media or YouTube or thebigspur.com or wherever you pick us up and you're going, well, now wait a second here. Did I have too much to drink last night? No, you didn't. We have accommodated for Gamecock baseball's first pitch of what possibly could be a day-night doubleheader, depending on whether that will get going at noon o'clock. We'll give you a weather update here. Noon o'clock. At noon, 12 o'clock. We'll give you a weather update here in just a moment. JC, JB, and Phil. And we will certainly recap what transpired inside of Founders Park as the top-ranked Tigers came into town and they left at least temporarily with their tail between their legs. We'll see if Carolina can get it rolling today and get a series victory over number one, which could vault them to number one, believe it or not. But time will tell with that. Meredith Taylor and Michael Maness will join us as well for day two of their added coverage of the Masters. It is underway. They started early today. Just like the Gamecocks will over in Augusta, and Brooks Koepka is at the top of the leaderboard at 8 under. We are in the Sinorama Studios, and they are the preferred sign partner of Gamecock Athletics. Over 8,000 folks poured into the stands last night, and they all basically entered from center field, and they all got to see the national championship banners, just some of the artwork that is surrounding the campus of Carolina, and all of that is done by Sinorama in Columbia. Sinorama.com. Gamecock owned and operated our friend Matt Vaughn, not the Matt Vaughn that pitched at Clemson and at Somerville. This is Matt Vaughn, the Gamecock. He runs a wonderful, wonderful business up there. So anything you need in the sign industry, that's where you want to go. Sinorama.com. And of course, our Masters coverage all week long is teed up by our friends at Traveling Country Club. TravelingCountryClub.com. It is the coolest club in the Carolinas. Michael Maness is the owner. He'll be on video today. We'll be able to see him. He played golf for Carolina. And he informed us yesterday he caddied the Masters twice for Bill Haas back in 2010 and in 2011. So going to get a little bit more into that with Michael Maness in just a little while. But, guys, I mean, here we go. I mean, it's I know everybody loves their football and those type things, but there's been kind of a wait-and-see type feel for some people at Carolina. I'm not sure what else you can wait on. If you're waiting for them just to win a national championship in order to say, well, I'm a believer again, shame on you. This team is 28-3, and last night was as big of a victory as they've had all year long, guys. And, weather permitting today, they've got a chance to win a series. That's what it's about. Winning that series. I'm sure all hands are on deck in game two, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds. But JC and Phil, one of the things we mentioned yesterday that Justin Smoke said was just gear up to hit the fastball and go from there. Well, Ethan Petrie and Braylon Wim are geared up, and not only did they hit the fastball, it went a long damn way out of left field, and that got them going. And from there, it was all but over for the LSU Tigers.
Oh, yeah. How about that? I talk over and over again about responding, right? And these guys continue to respond. I mean, you go into a game against a pitcher like that. It was basically like Randy Johnson, I mean, that's it's tough to face a guy like that. And the guys responded, and the weather delay, I think, I'm not going to say that helped Carolina, but it probably did. But to help him get into the bullpen.
Oh, we lost your audio, JC.
Yeah, can't hear him.
Yeah.
He's just talking to himself. I'm not sure what. There he is. Kind of.
Oh, no. No, but I mean, yeah. I remember sending you the tweet last night just saying, like, yep, just make solid contact and away they fly. I woke up with a ball in my backyard this morning. So.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Petrie's or if that was Wimmer's, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure Nate Atkins caught Wimmer's, right? The one-handed grab, wasn't that the one?
So funny story on that. My cousin Alyssa graduated last year from Carolina, and I was supposed to be up there for the whole series, but with the weather changes and the kids being off school, I wasn't able to go. Alyssa texted me and she said, "Are you here?" She's like our firstborn, basically, but she's my cousin who's 24. And I said, "No, I'm not." And she said, "Okay, well, that ball that just got hit out of the ballpark landed in Nate Adkins' hand." She was there with Nate. She's friends with him. He dates a friend of hers. And I said, "You're kidding me." And I said, "Well, that's not shocking. The dude catches everything." And then within about 5 minutes, everybody had gotten it, and it started making its way through social media. But she was right in the thick of it. There was a bunch of football players, I think, over there. And so yeah, to your point, Nate Adkins, the one-handed catch thing, it's becoming a trend for him. The next,
my man doesn't need two hands for anything.
gotta need 2 hands for nothing. He's only, and you know what? The Adkins family, I'm learning. I don't know this for sure, but I'm beginning to learn that they are big baseball fans, because when every game I've been to at Founders, Greg Adkins has been there. I actually briefly shook his hand and talked to him at one of the games, and I've seen him on TV a couple of weeks ago. Somebody hit a ball out of the yard to right field. It cleared the bullpen and went right over Greg Adkins' head.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he didn't reach up and try to catch it, but his son did in left field.
Let's keep the Adkins around all sporting events. Let's keep them. And
they need to place one all over the ballpark in the outfield.
We need to keep talking about the Lando Lakes lady, because boy, that really got Petrie going last night, right? And we gotta. It's a superstitious game. I text Whittle this morning. You guys remember in Major League when they got to be good and they did that American Express commercial? I texted Whittle this morning. I was like, at least all the we got 15 Carolina Rouse guys on this team. Most of the guys, we need to get them all and then do a commercial. Hey, we're the Gamecocks. You may not have heard of us for about 10 years, but we're back in the tuxes. That was hilarious. Get Kingston out there high, Yeah. But hey, I tell you, we're back. I mean, that's back. That phrase, we're back. We're back, Mortimer. We're back.
Well,
that's all I could think about last night was this program is back. This program is back.
Well, everybody's kind of feeling that sense of it now. There's no more. I mean, although I'm sure there's some people that are like, well, that was just one game. One game against the number one pick, and that was only 3 innings against him. I'm like,
fire Tanner.
A freshman took that guy yard for the first time this year.
And then Wimmer hurt his feelings after that. Here's the thing. I mean, again, it's about winning series, but you wanted to come into this and not get swept. That's always goal number one, and then goal number 2 is win the series, and so on. Right. But the reason that I think that there is even more confidence now today, and again, it's baseball, so it can change in a hurry, is you beat the dude. You beat the dude. The dude is done. He's not pitching anymore this series, and you beat him with a guy. And I mentioned this morning with Gunner. And by the way, Phil, you and I will get JC and Bill Gunner in a room and beat him with a bag full of needles at some point. 31 games into the season, he's the best freshman in the country. It's Ethan Petrie. Petrie.
I keep calling him Petrie.
Yeah, but that's. I'm sure Gunner's wearing off on you, because I texted him this morning. I said, Gunner, what more does this kid have to do for you to get his name right, dude?
Petrie. I'm sorry, Petrie.
It's a missed opportunity to not nickname this kid Dish.
Lando Lakes. How about Lando Lakes?
I said, butter. But everybody forgive me, by the way. I'm still working on the hat brim for the new hat that JC sent. But I mean, but here's something that doesn't need to get lost, and I'll sign off after this and let y'all take it to break and to take us until we get to break, because we got Whittle coming up in 5 minutes. The home runs are the big story. Beating the kid from LSU, big story. Beating number 1, big story. I'll be honest with you. As big of a story, I won't say that it's bigger, but it could be in the long run. Will Sanders. Will Sanders. Okay. Because, and I've mentioned this, and I said it this morning on 175, you don't want to make it about you. So I'm not trying to make this about me, but this is just an observation I've had since day one. We've mentioned it around here a lot. He had to get his changeup going. If he's got his changeup going, I get it. Location, fastball, this, that, and the other, missing up. Those are all part of it. I know. But when his changeup is working, he's working. And last night was the best it's been all year. And even when he missed on a couple of fastballs here and there, that changeup allowed him to continue to pitch the way that he wanted to because it was on. So if that break or whatever happened for a week that King and JP came up with and said, let's give this guy a, quote, reset, if that's what it took and we get like the Will Sanders back that at least I've seen pitch, I know a lot of others have seen pitch like that Will Sanders, watch out, boys and girls.
Yeah. Jack, you got the Chicago fireballer on the mound here at noon. Jack Mahoney.
Well, Mahoney.
Yeah, he's not going to be emotional or anything. I mean, that guy, he gets fired up. I get fired up watching him warm up, and so it's going to be pretty good atmosphere this afternoon. Like I looked at the forecast. Actually, I was texting with Whittle earlier. I didn't even know he was coming on today. I was just like, I mentioned that commercial. I was like, hey, we need to do this commercial. It's funny. I'm so happy. And then JB text, Whittle's on it. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. But he showed me the forecast, and he said they may get it in just from what he saw. Nice. And so that'd be great. Yep. And look, if you can't play the third, you can get two and move on. I think you take it if you're the Gamecocks. Just go get ready to go to Nashville next week, which is not going to be easy.
No.
So, and none of them are going to be easy for the next foreseeable future.
Well, and remember the five inning rule too. If they can get one in and they can attempt to start game 3, you can complete a game after 5 innings. So and that could obviously come to play in game 2 as well. But yes, you can do that. So John asked, would they not make up the third game? They would not. They would not do that. The SEC season, with midweeks included, and with the fact that you play every single weekend until the SEC tournament, they will not make a game up if they lose it. So they're going to do everything they can. And remember, it's not the rain, guys. Screw the rain. Who cares? If it rains, it rains. It's the lightning. I mean, unless it's cats and dogs that are falling out of the sky. But if it's raining, they'll play. I'm not worried about that. But you get that strike of lightning. That's the concern. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and someone mentioned 2 7s today, but you can't do that today, right?
Yeah,
you can only do 7s on day 3, right?
On getaway day. That's right. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. You got to play 2 9s.
Mm-hmm.
And
John said, how would that affect the standings? They just do it by winning percentage. Unfortunately, if let's say for the division, Florida plays one more game and wins one more, they're up by a half game. They would just win the division. That's just how it is in college baseball. They don't really kind of go out of the way to make anything up or anything like that. But until you get to the postseason, and I've said this story many times. Poor Whittle was in Chapel Hill for like 9 days during that Super Regional in Holbrook's first year because the games that we kept getting rained out. That thing lasted a week. Yeah, they will make it up and keep playing in the postseason, but unfortunately not in the conference tournaments and not in the at the end of the conference tournaments. If it just rains out, it rains out.
That's right,
and not the regular season. But if you got one less win, it means you also have one less loss, so it can work both ways depending on who you play.
Well, and remember,
you mentioned Florida too, JC. I mean, handle your business, today. Take care of business in Nashville next week. If Florida continues on the streak they're going, you could have a 1 versus 2 matchup in Founders in 2 weekends.
Very much could. There's no doubt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point, Phil. I mean, certainly not looking that far ahead, but you're exactly right. You could have that a lot, as a matter of fact, as the season goes on, because including this series, 6 of the last 7 Gamecocks have top 10 opponents in them. So that could happen more than once, which would just be unbelievable. This league is ridiculous. With all that said, remember with the rain thing too, it's not like we're it's not, God isn't just, focused on Columbia for rain. This thing is massive, and it is moving across the entire Southeast. If Carolina and LSU lose a game, I doubt they're going to be the only ones that lose a game this weekend. There's substantial weather coming through, so everybody's going to be dealing with it. All right, it's 10:19. It is Good Friday, and we hope it's even better for South Carolina coming up in just a couple of hours. But this show, we know this will get a lot better when we return, because the great John Whittle has decided and allowed us to have him in for double duty this week. Hang tight. Inside the Gamecocks, the show painted garnet and black by a couple of painters. We'll be right back. Family vacations, a new car, a new boat, all cost money, but you don't necessarily have to make more to afford any of that if you can save cash that's flying out the window now. iHelp Consulting can help you finally get the kids to Disney World, upgrade the minivan, or drop that new boat in the water next summer. Let Daniel and iHelp Consulting consult with you. No fees, just savings. You pay them a percentage of those savings. Save on essential services, credit card fees, you name it. Let them find it. These folks are incredible. iHelpConsulting.com. How can I help you?
Just as your State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home, auto, life, or small business insurance with Tony Pope State Farm Insurance today. And guess what you'll get? That's right, even more good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, Tony Pope State Farm is your go-to agent anywhere in South Carolina, North Carolina, or Georgia for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try combining your home, life, auto, and or small business insurance today. Tony Pope State Farm has been in business for more than 30 years and can handle anything you need in the tri-state area. Once again, Tony Pope State Farm will help you mix and match perfectly. Call 843-851-2222 or visit TonyPope.com today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The real estate market has changed dramatically from just a year ago. Rates, supply, demand, all of your traditional factors are in a transition phase. That's why if you or someone you know are considering making a move in the low country, contact me, JB, at Coast to Coast Realty. I work with an outstanding support cast of attorneys, lenders, inspectors, insurance agents, and more, all of whom are valuable in helping find a way for you to comfortably make your real estate decision. That's right. Call me, JB, your low country real estate broadcaster.
Traveling to cheer on the Gamecocks? Reserve your hotel stay with Fan Plans. Your booking supports inside the Gamecocks and the Big Spur, plus you still earn your hotel loyalty points. Visit fanplans.com/inside the Gamecocks.
What's up, Gamecock Nation? This is Jakar Moore from the DMV, and you are listening to the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Gamecocks, the show presented to you by Express Sunrooms of Columbia. Give John Barber and his team a call, 803-446-4662, to set up a no-obligation consultation to see if they could turn your backyard into an outdoor retreat. And, of course, the first hour of the show is brought to you by Cindy Searfoss and the Coldwell Banker Kane Realty team here in the upstate. 864-414-5271 is how to get in touch with Cindy for all your upstate residential real estate needs. And, of course, we're joined now, just like Jamie said, by John Whittle on the McKellar Enterprises guest line. John, happy to have you back. Thank you for gracing us with your presence after such a wonderful game last night.
Absolutely. Happy to be back with you guys and talk a little ball. It was certainly an exciting game last night. I didn't expect to be sitting through over 1 hour rain delay, but I say rain delay. There was no rain. Lightning in the area delay, but it was a great night.
Yeah, it was, John, and everybody wants to talk about Ethan. Let me say this again, Petrie. But hey, look, your boy JC already screwed it up here too. I don't know what's going on with him and Gunner, but we're gonna have this problem solved by the time we get back on Monday. I know that we're gonna be working through it throughout the next couple of days. But so John, we'll get to him in a minute. But I personally feel like one of the things that's been lost, we already mentioned it earlier, but wanted to have your input as well, of course, has been the performance or was the performance of Will Sanders last night. I mean, John, look, going into the game, okay, coming off of this reset, if you're a competitor, right? If you're a competitor, if you're an ace like Will Sanders with all the accolades and all those things, you can't ask for any more than that. You know, the red carpet was rolled out. The stage was set up for you to walk up and do your thing. All the scouts were going to be there because you got LSU and Carolina. We all know what LSU's got on their side. By the way, Carolina's got some pretty good players on their side. The TV coverage is going to be there. Every outlet in the country. You were in the press box, John. They're there to cover this thing. And if you're Will Sanders, hey, buddy, it's your time to shine. Well, he didn't get to finish it, and neither did Paul Skeens, but he got that changeup working, and he really, really, really was special.
Yeah, I thought he was really good, and I think the week off definitely helped him. I still don't know that that's Will Sanders' A game. But he did find some barrels. So, every pitcher's going to do that. And Sanders has done that, through his entire career. He's given up a few home runs and so forth. But with the way he's pitched, with all of the things you mentioned in terms of being on such a big stage, going against perhaps the number one draft pick in the country this year, he did really, really well. And you couldn't have asked for much more from him. I thought he did a really nice job, and certainly something to build on going forward. But yeah, you mentioned the changeup. I thought that was really working. To me, that's one thing that hasn't been as good as last year for whatever reason. And I thought it looked great last night. So that's one of a couple of things that I thought he could improve on, and one thing that he certainly did improve on.
Talking with John Whittle from thebigspur.com. John, Petrie and Wimmer continue to impress. I think at this point, Mark Kingston's quote today was kind of summed it up. He's just like, I just tell him to be at the ballpark on time and let him do his thing. Can you believe this guy? I mean, it's he continues to swing it pretty well. Tied a record last night. And then Wimmer, the old grizzled veteran, kind of a young guy and old guy there. I mean, he seems to, every time you turn around and early in a game, he makes some he's had some hits that kind of set the tone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Both Carolina Rise guys as well. And I'll say with Petrie, when, we chatted for a while when he was signing some of his paperwork, and I asked him, this was a month or so into the season, I asked him, is anything that you're doing surprising to you? And he kind of laughed and was, yeah, actually. He said, I just wanted to hit one home run this year. Like, I just wanted to get one. And he said, I was just kind of hoping to be on the SEC travel roster this year. So, I mean, that kind of gives you the perspective on what he was kind of thinking coming into his freshman season, and I would say he's probably met his expectations and surpassed them a tad.
Well, John, the number that keeps kind of starting to get brought up is Smoke's record, which I texted Smoke yesterday. I said, "Hey man, have you been paying attention to the Petrie kid?" And he said, "Well, I mean, I watch him play, but what are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you'll know when he breaks your record. I'll remind you if you haven't heard by the time it happens." But that's hey, if he hits two more, he's going to tie Smoke's home run record. If he hits three, he's going to break it. It's incredible to think about, John. But he's not there yet, so we don't want to put the cart before the horse. But there's a couple other records out there, and don't tell him this. Hopefully, he's not listening in the locker room right now. But, I mean, think about this for a second, John. I know you know these numbers. Hank Small hit 379 as a freshman in 1974. And, right now that sure looks very vulnerable. And the best batting average ever in a season was Bordenic. He did it in 97. He hit 419. Now, we got a long ways to go there. And this kid, I think, is still going to hit the skids at some point. They all do. But, I mean, He's a freshman, and the only reason I'm even bringing those numbers up is because of what you just said. I mean, this young man was hoping to make the travel roster. Johnny's the midseason player of the year. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I mean, you touched on some of the numbers, and they're really impressive. And I've talked to Tommy Moody and a couple of other guys who have been around watching South Carolina baseball a lot longer than me. I'll never profess, at least right now, maybe in 20 years, I'll never profess to be a historian. But you know, I asked Tommy, like, is there a position player who's kind of rivaled at all what Petrie has done? And he obviously brought up Smoke, and he brought up Hank Small, but those are really the only two guys who are sort of in the conversation, at least up to this point. We'll see how he finishes the season out. But
sure.
You know, the rate he's going, I mean, he's got to be the best freshman position player, you know, that South Carolina's had. So there have been a couple of pitchers who have put up some really big numbers. Earl Bass, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Earl Bass, I would certainly think could make a claim for having as good a numbers as a pitcher as anybody out there as a freshman. But man, what Ethan Petrie has done has been really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in jeopardy right now. Smokey had 63 ribbies that freshman year. I think he slugged about 600. Well, I mean, Petrie's slugging 10,000. I mean, it's just amazing what's happening here. All right, so John, let's put it to bed, because it did happen last night. They got to play today. I know it's looking better and better that they'll be able to get a full one in. We'll see about game 3. But I was asked this question this morning. My response was, oh, yeah. I mean, hey, look, you throw the kitchen sink at them. It's about winning series. What is your perspective on how they'll approach game 2, really more from a pitching perspective, pitching standpoint than anything?
Anything that it takes to win. Yeah. I mean, if you find yourself ahead, you do everything you have to do to win the second one. They'll throw me and you out there for an inning or two in game 3 if they've won game 2. So it's you throw whatever you need out there if you're in position to win the first game. And that was what was really weird to me about last night. I'm taking this off the rails. Last night about LSU was, you know, it's only a 3-1 game in the 4th inning. I mean, I don't understand their moves. They went down to the bottom of their bullpen last night coming out of that weather delay, and it makes no sense, because it's almost like you're playing for the 18 innings tomorrow versus trying to win a day that you're only 2 runs behind. And it made no sense for them to do what they're doing. Jay Johnson's taking a little bit of heat on their message board, questioning why that they would do something like that. LSU's the top offense in the country, and at least in the SEC, in terms of runs scored, batting average, a slew of different categories. I don't know why you'd be cashing it in at 3-1 by going to a guy who's thrown less than 5 innings this year with an 80 ERA like that, and not the numbers behind him weren't much better from the other two guys. So, that was a really weird strategy for the rest of the weekend, especially given the forecast. You've got to play for the inning right now and the out right now, because you don't know how many you're going to get in. The weather forecast is certainly improving, but you know that doesn't a whole heck of a lot in terms of how many you're going to get in, and even baseball strategy in general. You got to play for what you got now, but especially with what it looks like out there.
Hornig back at DH again today. It looks like the lineup was just posted on Twitter. So it looks like he's probably that foot's probably getting back closer to where he can play in the field, John, or no?
Well, he'll be mainly a DH, especially if Dylan Brewer keeps playing the way he is. But Carson's not real fleet of foot out there, not real graceful as a runner. So they would like to use him when he's in the lineup at DH. But yeah, he's to the point now where he can play a full game. And if they get into a spot where where they need where he gets on base and they need somebody out there who can really run. They'll bring in Caleb Denny or somebody else to run for him and protect that foot a little bit more. But he's got a bat that can change some games and do some damage. And Floyd, LSU's pitcher today, has a tendency to give up a few long balls. So there's a chance maybe he can run into one.
Well, speaking of running into one, I think you just mentioned his name if I heard it correctly. But Dylan Brewer's caught fire, John. I mean, and I can't say that a week or two ago I saw this coming. Going back to last weekend. What is it? I don't know if you talked to him. Have they changed something? Have they fixed something? Is he just kind of refound his confidence? What's going on with Dylan Brewer? Because man, he looks good.
Yeah, and I just with Dylan, like it's been a disappointing season for him up to this point, at least in my opinion, because he's got so much more in there than what he's shown, and I think for him, a lot of it is, and has been throughout his entire career. It's not just been these last few weeks. It's not been anything different than when he was at Clemson, but it's a confidence thing for him. And what I don't know what that reason is, but that's been his deal dating back to high school. So that for me has been kind of the biggest change. But at the same time, you can always tell when Dylan Brewer is going well by where he hits the ball, and sometimes it's more pronounced than others. But when he's working the middle of the field, that's when he's good offensively. When he's working from gap to gap, now he'll get into one like he did last night and put it into the bullpen. But when he's going from gap to gap is when he's going well. That home run was basically to right center. It was right center. His home run to Mississippi State was straight away center field. Had a single last night back up the middle, actually to the shortstop's right. He gets pull happy from time to time and gets too big and starts swinging and missing at pitches. And when he's not doing that, he can be a really, really productive player. So, right now he's going good. He's feeling really good about himself. He's having more fun. And I'm saying this, at least with regard to this aspect, he's having a lot more fun this year than he has ever in the past. So he just feels better. And, I have a feeling he's going to remain pretty consistent offensively. I think he's probably hitting close to 500 over the last 7 or 8 games, so he's not going to keep doing that. But I have a feeling he's going to continue to be really productive, and probably before too much longer, we're going to say, well, what about Dylan Brewer at the leadoff spot? Which is not something we would have talked about at any point in the year.
Yeah, you might be right, but tell you, man, if Wimmer can figure it out up there, it's going to be hard to get Coach Kingston to come off the lineup he likes, as you know. Hey, we'll let you run, but a couple of quick things here. And I knew that he was a two-way guy. I had never done my research on the stats, and I just figured this out. I'm not sure if anybody knew this or not. But Paul Skeens, before he transferred to LSU, I don't know if anybody realizes, in 2 years at Air Force, he was a two-way player, and he played 100 games the last 2 seasons there. In the 21 season, he hit .410 with 11 home runs and 43 RBI. And last year he hit .314 with 13 home runs and 38 ribbies. He's not hitting at LSU. Obviously, I think he's got 7 at bats this year, and he throws 102 miles an hour. So they've kind of trenched him into that Friday role. But I mean, John, can we make the argument here? I know earlier this season that he started at Texas A&M, and he had a great outing. But can we make the argument that in his collegiate career, that environment he walked into last night was probably the best and most intimidating that he's pitched in front of, and more than likely the best team he's probably ever faced?
Yeah, I think that's very fair, and that's something that I thought about last night. So I thought about going down and talking to Jay Johnson, after that game, to ask him a few questions on why he did what he did, but wanted to ask that about Skeens. I might do that after today's game if I get an opportunity. But I mean, I think that's really fair. Something I thought about last night. I went through and looked at some of the venues they played at, and Texas A&M would obviously be the most hostile, but Founders Park was rocking pretty good last night, especially before the weather delay. But even after the weather delay, King said last night, and I completely agree with him that basically everybody who was there at the start was there after the hour and 6 minute delay. So credit to those folks who wanted to stick around and watch good baseball.
Okay, guys, can I squeeze in one more question? This is just a for fun deal. Very very arguable. But Tommy said last night in the broadcast, and by the way, it was great. Tommy had the best home run call of his life last night when that grand slam left the yard. For anybody that hadn't heard it, it was phenomenal. But he said during the broadcast, and I've got great respect for Tommy Moody, and I was racking my brain. I've been to 1,000 games at Founders Park, and I was trying to figure it out. He said, I'm quoting him because I put it in my phone as soon as he said it. In the history of this stadium, this is as electric in the first 3 innings as we've ever seen. Would you agree with that?
I'm trying to think back. It's hard to remember one. It really is. I'd have to get back with you after my brain a little bit. But I
think the super regionals against UConn and Oklahoma would come to my mind just as an observer. But back in the day, you remember this against UConn and Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah. I was there.
But I don't know. I don't know how it compared to last night. So
I mean, he said in the first 3 innings. Now, I mean, throughout the game, I don't know. I mean, not that it really matters, John, but I mean, it was nuts. And I hope it is today. I hope there's a lot of sick people today. They're going to be at Founders Park.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Spread that COVID. Get out there, get the Gamecocks going.
Oh my God.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, John. We appreciate it, man. Keep up the great work.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Put an umbrella over that ballpark now. Get them in.
Let's go.
Yeah,
freaking good.
John Whittle with the big spur. There's John. It's John Phil. Hey, John Phil.
John's like got there's an eclipse, like a Whittle eclipse.
That's right. Yeah.
In front of Phil's head.
When I had to ask that question, I had it teed up to ask Coach Lake because we don't get Coach Lake today because he's calling both games on TV. By the way, y'all did. Like I do the both thing. Everybody thinks I'm nuts. I got the radio going and the TV. Y'all did watch the game, right?
Yeah. I unfortunately could not watch until I wasn't able to start watching until the 6th inning, but I enjoyed the call. I mean,
Coach Lake, he's getting better and better and better.
Yeah. We're getting spoiled, man, between our radio call and what we can throw out there for the, local TV broadcasts. I mean, as compared to some of the less than stellar performances that we've been subjected to on the road. Yeah. We're lucky.
No, we're very lucky. I texted Derek last night. I said, I love you, man, but please tell Tommy. They were still sitting in the booth. I said, please tell Tommy that grand slam call was goosebumpy. It was really, really good. So, all right, we got to hit a timeout. It's 10:43. We'll update you on the Masters when we return. Obviously, plenty on baseball. We're gonna make sure we make it a point to get a lot of your Nana Sports chat box stuff in to our program today. We do have Masters coverage with Meredith Taylor and Michael Maness coming up as well. So don't go anywhere. We take you right till first pitch today on Inside the Gamecocks, the show.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for a karaoke partner, I can tell you, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But what I do have is a very specific set of skills. Hang up now, and your IT nightmares will continue. But stay on the line, and I will find you. And when I find you, I will fix it. Thanks. I think I have the wrong number. I'm trying to call Matt at Heritage Digital. He has a one price, low cost turnkey solution for all my IT needs. And I'm sick and tired of my IT guy. So yeah, 699-1001. This is 1002. Oh, well, thanks anyway. Don't be taken by some IT dude that talks a big game. Give Matt at Heritage Digital a call, 843-699-1001.
Gamecock Nation, JB here, and I'm here to tell you about my new favorite painting company, A Couple of Painters. These guys are the best. Gamecock fans and excellent painters, and by far the best and easiest quote I've received. They're licensed in both South Carolina and Georgia. They offer 10% off for military, repeat customers, or if you heard it on the show, commercial and residential painting, deck, fence, and cabin staining, cabinet and furniture refinishing. They'll even remove popcorn ceilings and wallpaper, and they offer pressure washing. Find them on Facebook or call 803-522-6832. A Couple of Painters, proud partners of Inside the Gamecocks, the show. Golfers and wannabe golfers, former Gamecock golfer Meredith Taylor is now a full-time golf instructor in the Midlands of South Carolina. In-person golf lessons are held at the Country Club of Lexington. Half-hour, on course 9 or 18 holes. And if you're outside of South Carolina, Meredith conducts virtual lessons. Just send in your golf swing for analysis. Gift cards are available for in-person 1-hour lessons. Connect on Twitter at Mayor Taylor and find her online at McKellarEnterprises.org. Her email is on the website. Schedule your next lesson today with Meredith Taylor, former Gamecock golfer.
You're tuned into Inside the Gamecocks, the show.
Sideline and picked off. Brad Edwards will get a convoy. Touchdown, South Carolina.
Spurs. You ain't just a bird. You're top of the coop, star of the show. You're a rooster who was born a pro. Well, I bet you wonder when you win or lost a step or two. Fell down the pecking order.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Gamecocks, the show. Brought to you by Express Sunrooms of Columbia. First hour of the show presented to you by Cindy Searfoss and the Coldwell Banker Kane Realty team. JC has apparently turned into a troll.
Need some blue dye.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Somebody called it broccoli. I'm having headphone issues. I'm going to dip out and fix this because we'll get an echo, but I'll be right back.
You do what you need.
I said I look like broccoli earlier. Remember this Veggie Tales cartoon?
Yes.
Hey, I'm a head of lettuce. You know.
Yeah.
Let me fix this, and I'll get right back, guys. Okay.
You'll know where to find us.
Yeah.
No worries there. Tell you what, Phil. Let me go ahead and update the leaderboard real quick at the Masters, and then we'll dive back in. Koepka now out to a 3-stroke lead. He's at 10 under, 3 under early today. He finished yesterday with that 65. And then he gave the traditional Brooks Koepka interview afterwards. Yeah, it was good. Shut him well today. No, not really. No, I'm not sure why you're asking that question because I don't like to answer these questions sometimes. I'm not Nick Saban, but I like to think I am. But I got a hot wife, so it's cool. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. But he's at 10 under, so he's 3 up on Jason Day, Victor Hovland, and John Rahm, who also shot a 65 yesterday alongside Victor Hovland. They all finished at 7 under, but the kicker is that Rahm doubled number 1, and had he not, he might have gone even lower.
That's right.
So, or he would have gone even lower. But pretty cool to see Sam Bennett in there. He's 1 under through 2 today. That's an amateur, and that is behind Koepka, the highest American on the board, tied for 5th at 5 under. He was 4 under yesterday, and so that's something we're going to talk to Meredith and Michael about here in just a little bit. Having an amateur up at the top of the leaderboard at the Masters is really, really, really something to see. For the big names and folks wondering where they are, Spieth just got his round going. He's at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler's at 3 under. He is a shot over through 2, so he is at 3 under as well. And Colin Morikawa, whom I picked yesterday to win the Masters, is 1 under today, and he is at 4 under. For the tournament. He's through 3 on that round. Tiger Woods is going to tee off at 12:54. He is at 2 over. Well, Phil, I'm not sure how much you know about golf, but the cut line right now projected is 1 over. So as things stand, Tiger would not make it into the weekend. So he's going to have some work to do traditionally he'll really get it going in the second round, and we'll see how it all works out for Tiger. That'll be a focal point of our conversation with Meredith and Michael today as well. And then, but above the cut line, you've got a couple of other names to keep an eye on, like Patrick Reed and Patrick Cantlay, both at 1 under, and Rory, he is on it at 1 over. He is through 2, and he bogeyed the par 5 second. So there you go. That is my golf digest delivered to you by travelingcountryclub.com.
That was good. You do that as if it matters to you.
Well, it does matter to me.
No, I like keeping up with it. It's interesting. Like my wife and I will always watch on Sunday the Masters. In fact, I mean, pretty much for the next few months we'll be watching golf on Sunday. It's fun. We keep up with it, loosely. I understand the ins and outs of scoring and the rules and things like that, but yeah, just unfortunately, I never played for whatever reason it is. I just never did play.
Well, go out there to Top Golf and act like you know what you're doing, and
I've done that before.
Okay,
yeah, I've done.
yeah. It's Top Golf is not really golf, just so everybody is.
That's why I never claimed that. It was like, well, you ever? I mean, no, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You get up there, grip it and rip it. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, grip it and rip it. That's what Smoke does now, man. He has turned into God, dude can play. I mean, if he's over par, he gets pissed. I mean, he's a hell of a golfer. The guy can do everything. I'm honored to call him a friend, but he can fish better than me. He can hunt better than me. He plays golf better than I do. He's a better baseball player. Yeah, he's pretty good. In the Nana Sports chat box over here, KFC, how is this guy batting .445 with 15 home runs? Obviously talking about Ethan Petrie. The only answer I can give you is because he has 49 hits and 110 at bats. That's all I got. How? He's pretty good. That's why. And he's hot. He's hot. Again, I mean, let's just be honest. Call a spade a spade. It's going to happen. He's going to hit the skids. I mean, it's baseball. I mean, everybody does. So how's he going to respond when that happens for the first time as a freshman? We'll see. But thus far, no skids, Phil. He's pretty good.
And hey, JB, at this point, do we need to start considering dropping the modifier freshman from all of this accolade that we're giving him at this point? Because he's up there for one of the best players in the country, period. It doesn't matter, that he's a best freshman in the country. Hell, he's long surpassed that, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
or is in the process of doing so.
Yeah, well, when it comes to All-Americans and stuff, oh yeah, it's hard to argue. He's anything but a first-team All-American right now, freshman or not. National Player of the Year stuff, clearly too early to talk about all this, but
yeah,
I'd have to really do some research. I do know this. Obviously, LSU's got a couple of contenders for that award. Caglione at Florida is up there. He is, my God. Guys hit 16 home runs, and he's also the ace on the staff. It's ridiculous.
I know.
And you got
they
Petrie.
Put it on Tennessee last night too.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the East. Everybody talks about the West in football. And the West generally has been better in baseball, deeper. Not this year. South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky. That's 4 in Vandy. 5 of the 7 teams are in the top 10. Get out of here. That's crazy. I mean, that's nuts.
Ridiculous.
God, that is
it
nuts.
Looks like an SEC standings when you look at the D1 top 10.
Nuts, dude. I mean, just freaking nuts. A couple of conversations over here about Horning. Look, it's going to come on. I don't mean it snarky. Don't get me wrong. They're not playing him if he has a chance to hurt himself anymore. Okay, if he's in there, it's because he can be in there. So, I wouldn't get too caught up in. I mean, he could get hurt just as easily as anybody else can out there. That injury that he's playing with, he can play with it. He's okay. They honestly could probably put him in the outfield if they really wanted to, but that's where they're being careful. So, he's good. He's good to go, and he's not going to re-injure that thing or anything like that any more so than he could just actually hurt himself in some other form or fashion. As far as French goes, I mean, this guy should or shouldn't be in the lineup, this, that, and the other. I mean, you got to remember something, man. Like this, all these dudes do is look at scouting reports. So they're very well prepared coming into this series as to who should be in the lineup based on how they've been producing. What are they in game? What do they look like in practice? What do they look like behind the curtain when they're back there getting work? And what do the matchups look like in the scouting report versus the team that they're playing? So they're going to play the kids that need to play. If they need to make a change, they'll make a change. But I don't ever get hung up on, well, why is this guy not playing? Well, those coaches look at him about 18 hours out of 24 hours a day. They know why they are and aren't playing. So I don't get too much into that. But I did see earlier someone said that French would probably catch game 3. That's more than likely right. Even though Messina is, man, he's just turning into a hoss back there. But that's probably right. So we'll see how it goes.
Do you think if you win game 2, you're just going to empty the dugout in the double, in the second game today? Just like let everybody have a turn.
No.
No, you're not that confident in things yet. Still early.
No.
Yeah. No. It's not Tuesday.
I mean, yeah, no. No, I think that because Bill and those guys kind of asked me this morning, and I just turned that question around to John. So you've got 2 conversations when you have how do you approach game 2 to be had. One is the conversation of, are you getting your rear end kicked or not? Yeah. And so if you come out of the gates and you're, for whatever reason, it all goes awry, Phil, and you look up in the 3rd or 4th inning and you're going, this is out of control. It's just going to be one of those days or one of those games. You're probably going to make a different decision by when you make that next move. Okay. Like you might not go to Matthew Becker or Eli Jersenbeck or Cade Austin or Chris Veach or one of the shoot. I think even Eli can go today since he only threw 1 inning last night. You might not go to one of those guys. You might go, hey, look, unless our offense, we'll bring this guy in. Let's see if we can keep him at bay for an inning or 2. If our offense kind of gets it going, all of a sudden it's a 1 or 2 run game, you're going to make a different decision. The flip side of that quarter is you come out 3 or 4 innings in, you got a tight one, or you're winning the game, maybe something semi or fairly comfortably. Darts, dude, whatever it takes. You throw the darts. You keep throwing the freaking darts, and you go after game 2. And when you get to game 3, if you look in your bullpen and go, well, son of a, we got nothing left. Oh, then you got nothing left, but you won the series. And that's all that matters. It is always about winning series. So, it's 2 conversations to be had, but yeah, it's all hands on deck. That is your approach when you go into the game. All hands on deck, period, the end.
Yeah. Do all you can. There is no tomorrow, that kind of thing with regards to today. Yeah, I fixed my headset finally. Had to find the charger wire. It went to Disney with me and never got unpacked.
Yeah.
And headphones are wireless, and if they're not on, we're going to have a big echo like the whole time. So that's why I had to dip. But I'm with you.
It's okay, man. We got you.
Sonder, by the way, yeah, we started early today, so we just pushed it back because first pitch is at noon, and nobody's going to be listening to us anyway. If we kept yammering through the game, I mean,
we know our place.
We all want to watch the game, right? We probably just sit there and get distracted and be like, yeah. Well, okay. Well, the show, it would probably be the most boring, worst hour ever.
Yeah, we could really break the rules. We could really break the rules and have Fink call us after we just air the game during our broadcast. Be a good way to screw it up real quick.
Yeah, to ingratiate ourselves.
My phone would be ringing before the first word is spoken. It'd be Kent and Steve and Coach Tanner.
Well, you can't do that, James.
Hey, by the way, Nobody's been bitching and moaning about Coach Tanner in a while, have they? Coach Tanner's
right.
like,
people want to. I mean, it's.
Guess I'm not an idiot this week. Hey, man. Hey, somebody's going to hit a pothole leaving the game tonight. Damn, Tanner, I've been telling him for 10 years to pave these roads. That son of a bitch. He can't do nothing right.
That's terrible. Yeah, he'll get blamed for it. You wait. LSU wins today. Tanner, I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Last night, I always love to check the comments in the Gamecock baseball Twitter page just to see what the idiots are doing. Like, there's got to some of these people have to be like doing it just to do it, right? Like they don't really think the things that they actually tweet, right? Like Skeens, we hit the home runs, Wimmer hits a home run, and then I guess we don't score in the next inning. And LSU, no, it was 2-0. LSU puts a run on the board, which I mean, just so we're clear, everybody kind of understood that LSU might score a run this series, right? Like they're the number 1 team in the country, and then this guy's like, come on, effing Gamecocks, here we go. Dude, they're the number 1 team in the nation. Like, they might score a freaking run. Like, it's the second inning of the ball game. Like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I don't know if they drink all day or what these cats do.
It's just, people care. They get passionate,
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes that's, it's weird how people, especially these days where everybody has a platform on social media or otherwise.
Yeah. Do you think the Gamecock baseball Twitter page is going to pass that over to Mark Kingston and let him respond to you? Yeah. Oh, man, I'm really sorry about that. Don't worry. We'll get it solved by the top of the third. Like
that's where you got a kid run into the dugouts.
It's bad enough that they make the coaches do these awkward interviews and stuff during the game. It's just
King. Gamecock fan, upstate Gamecock fan asked what the F is going on Twitter. What do you want me to tell him? Oh, just let him know. We'll handle it from here. Okay, sounds good, King. Dude, nobody's paying attention to you. If you're that guy, stop doing it. Like, I just laugh at it. Like, I think it's hilarious.
Could you imagine Harry Carey interviewing Don Zimmer live in the dugout during the game? Like back in the day for the Cubs. Hey, Don! What's going on?
Like the old school guys, like what do you think Bobby Cox would say?
Oh, Bobby Cox!
Get the blank out of my dugout.
Bobby Cox. 2 people that would be so enthusiastic about doing an interview, skipping Bobby Cox in the middle of a Braves game. Well, what are you thinking there, Bobby?
I mean,
well, Skip, you can go to hell.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I really want King or one of these guys. I told King this one time. I was like, dude, you pull the headset on one time and just be like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why are you asking me? So stop asking. Like the old Saban. Like
Nick Saban says, why? Quit asking the question.
Yeah.
One day Saban was like, all right, everybody get in the line and you all ask the question. I was like, oh my God.
Oh golly, man. All right, we gotta go because we gotta get to break.
Pisses me off, all right. Pisses me off. All right, so yeah, we gotta go break.
I mean, somebody bring back Lou Holtz and put a mic in his face during the game.
Or Muschamp.
Let me tell you something.
No,
I just tell you, I back to Gamecock, post him back around the 50-yard line and whip his arm and told you to go and go.
I will say that's
colorful enough on the way out, just catching him.
I like
into
70s
locker room.
Twidiots.
Twidiots.
All right, way to go, 76. All right, time out. We got to get to the Masters. We'll be right back.
What's up, Gamecock fans? This is pitcher Noah Hall. If you want some delicious food for your event, I suggest visiting nanasporch.com today to find out what they all have to offer. It's really good Southern cuisine based out of Charlotte, my hometown. I hope you guys go check it out. Go Cox and go Nanas.
Are you looking to buy a new home? Kevin O'Connell with Union Home Mortgage is a local mortgage expert and Gamecocks fan servicing North and South Carolina. Whether you're buying a home, building your dream home with new construction, or turning your equity into cash, UHM's world-class service will ensure you find the perfect mortgage to achieve your home ownership goals. Call Kevin at 803-906-0244 or visit UHM.com today. Union Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS 2229, LONMLS 1772182.
Electric Bikes of Charleston offers the most fun you'll ever have on two wheels. The home of Oventon, Velotric, Magnum Bikes, and more, they sell to consumers all across the state and offer outstanding warranties and service after the sale. Their electric bikes are equipped with 5 levels of pedal assist plus a throttle, so you can ride longer, handle the heat better, but still get great exercise. Bikes are available for all ages and sizes. Visit electricbikescharleston.com or stop into their store in Mount Pleasant if you're in the Low Country. Electric Bikes of Charleston, powering inside the Gamecocks, the show.
Welcome to TravelingCountryClub.com, your modern golf club experience. Hey folks, this is Michael Maness, former Gamecock golfer, inviting you to play more golf with a membership to TravelingCountryClub.com. With over 40 courses across the Carolinas, our membership provides you with an affordable way to enjoy a club-like golf experience. From the mountains to the coast, we offer golf courses that will challenge all types of golfers, no matter your handicap level or level of play. Plus, we offer unique membership benefits not seen anywhere else as part of Traveling Country Club. In July, we're excited to bring to you the 3rd annual Plunder on Pawleys 2-day golf tournament, with rounds played at Caledonia and True Blue golf courses in the heart of Pawleys Island. Head to TravelingCountryClub.com to register for that event, and it is not exclusive to TCC members, but to become one, you can sign up and bring to life your golf game. Tee it up with Traveling Country Club, TravelingCountryClub.com, TravelingCountryClub.com, proud partners of Inside the Gamecocks, the show.
This is Zachary Davis from Carolina Hoops, and you're watching the show with JB, JC, and Phil. Go Cox.
All right, 11:06, final hour of our work week. Welcome back inside the Gamecocks, the show from the Sinorama Studios. It is Masters Week, in addition to all the fun we've been having with Gamecock baseball. But this entire week, and pretty much every day, actually, on our program is teed up by TravelingCountryClub.com. I've been calling it the coolest club in the Carolinas. There's a reason for that. Over 40 courses you can play in both North and South Carolina. They just added Mount Mitchell Golf Course up in the mountains of North Carolina, which is just absolutely spectacular if you've ever been up there. Obviously, plenty of great places to play down on the coast, Caledonia and True Blue up there in the Myrtle Beach area, and so on and so forth. But as we've mentioned multiple times, Sons of Anarchy wouldn't let me into their club, but these cats, they did. So you should join too, TravelingCountryClub.com. And speaking of which, the guy that owns it is Michael Maness, and he is happy. Well, we hope he's happy to join us today to talk about the Masters. Meredith Taylor is back. She's been doing this for a few years with us, so she knows how it works. Both are former golfers at South Carolina. Both have played Augusta. Michael Maness has caddied it. So I'm just going to shut up and let y'all talk for the next 20 minutes because there's really nothing else for us to say except for the fact that Brooks Koepka is having one hell of a start to the Masters, as he is now 10 under and 3 shots above. Ladies first, Meredith, how are you?
Hello, friends. I can't do a Jim Nantz impersonation. Can JC do it?
Hello, friends.
Sometimes I can. It's right here on the 4th hole. I got it. Yeah, I like it when he gets excited. Like you hear the crowd go out, he's like, masterful. And then he quiets back down. Because Tiger's on my hole.
He's the best.
He's 3 under today. Jim Nantz, man.
The best.
Nothing better.
Well, dude, the shift he has to make from what he was doing, at the Final Four, and then having to bring it back to the Masters.
Yeah, well, you always
season right now.
When you always forget that old Vern's sitting there on 16 again.
16. Yes.
You got Vern and Nance in the Masters.
He's terrific.
Is Vern still doing the Masters?
On 16.
He's on 16.
Yes.
I think that's his spot.
Yeah. I love him. I miss him on the SEC. Now, I mean, Brad Nessler to me is the best in the business, but Vern is SEC football, And we're chortle.
Who's your favorite, Michael? Who's your favorite golf broadcaster or commentator?
I mean, obviously Nance is amazing. I mean, you got I kind of miss him. I mean, I enjoyed Faldo. I like his perspective on things. Actually, looking back, I probably hated Miller, but I grew up playing with some of his boys and didn't really like him then. But now that he's gone, I miss his honesty a little bit. You know, I don't like somebody that sugarcoats things while these guys are out there. You know, so I mean, those are mine right now. I think obviously Nance, and then the on-course stuff, you've got a lot. I mean, I think Smiley Coughlin's doing a good job with some of the new on-course stuff. He's made a good change in his career. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know who's good? Sean McDonough when he calls golf on ESPN. Sean McDonough's good. But he's good at everything.
Sean McDonough could read the newspaper and be good at it. I mean,
I know.
So just like JB, you said the other day you love listening to baseball. I love listening to Jim Nance at Augusta.
Yeah.
And then the piano starts playing. It's like, okay.
I know.
I'm in my happy place.
Did y'all see the segment yesterday with the $20? How much you could get for $20 at the Masters? Did y'all see that segment?
Yes.
Dude, it was awesome.
It's the greatest. I mean, you could buy the whole menu for like $60, right?
It kind of ticks me off, you know, because you go to college ballpark, any and all of them, South Carolina included, and $20 barely gets you a drink and a snack.
Hot dog.
You go to the Masters, and you could get, they're $1.50. The sandwiches are, and including a beer and a couple of moon pies. He had like 5 sandwiches, 2 moon pies, and a beer, and he barely got the $20.
Yeah. So for those that didn't see it, Tom Kim is a rookie. It's his first Masters. And so he had heard all about the pimento cheese, the egg salad, and, you know, the Georgia peach ice cream. And so they took him into the concessions and he was like, ooh, that looks pretty good. I'm get that. And then he gets to the register and they're like, we don't take cash, sir. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm a rookie here. It was hilarious. And some guy, like a security guard, was like, I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I've back plenty of times.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, those sandwiches. All right. So as it pertains to the actual golf, and Meredith, we're going to start with Michael Maness today. Again, folks, travelingcountryclub.com. Gamecock born and bred here. That is Gamecock operated. So if you want to play golf pretty much anywhere, and they add all the time, that's where you want to go, travelingcountryclub.com. Koepka, I mean, he's the story right now. I don't even think yesterday we brought him up. He's at 10 under. He was 7 under, tied for the lead yesterday with Victor Hovland and John Rahm, whom, had he not doubled number 1, would have been lower at 8, 9. Who knows? But, you know, Koepka's been going through it, right? He's been grinding, Mike, for the last couple of years with some injuries and things like that. He's a live guy now. So there's your PGA live rivalry, maybe, quote unquote, living out right in front of us. But he's 10 under, and he's attacking the course, and he's crushing it. What have you seen from his golf game?
I mean, from what I actually watched the replay of it last night and caught up some. I mean, he didn't miss. It didn't look like he missed too many golf shots yesterday, and obviously putted pretty well. I mean, he got to shoot that number. You know, with him, I just saw he's 3 under through 10. He's got a 3-shot lead, you know, through or midday on Friday. It's a good place to sit. You know, I also looked, he was at 4,000 to 1 to win, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. He just won the last live tournament. Not that I didn't watch it, but I actually saw it on Instagram this morning. Something popped up. So that's kind of nuts when you have a major champion. I mean, he's won a lot of big golf tournaments. Obviously, that seems to be his focus. He doesn't play well in some of the off weeks, but he knows how to get it done under pressure. I don't think that's going to change depending on what platform he's playing on.
Did you say 4,000 to 1? So if you put $10 on Koepka, you can win 40 grand on this deal?
Holy shit. $4 grand.
$4 grand. It'd have been 40 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh, so 40 to
plus 4,000, I should have said. Sorry.
Dude, yeah. I was like, wait a second here. I'm okay.
But still 40 to 1. I mean,
still
unbelievable when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, you're right, because we're talking about Brooks Koepka here. He's almost been lost in the mix. You know, you almost forget sometimes that Brooks Koepka's playing golf, and just a couple of years ago, he was the biggest thing in the sport. Like him or not, his interviews drive me insane. Coming down just a little bit, though. Here we go. Morikawa just birdied again, so he's at 5 under. He is tied for 5th with Spieth and Cam Young. So the big names in golf are up there. But Meredith, there's a name that is one shot back, and it's Sam Bennett.
The amateur.
He's an amateur. He's even through 4 today, meaning that he shot 4 under in his first Masters round yesterday. I couldn't even comprehend doing that. But describe his game and any insight as to what this kid might be mentally feeling out there.
Not a clue, because I definitely had a bogey on my card when I played it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, to put it in perspective, they had to go back in the record books to find an amateur who didn't have 1 bogey on the card in their first round. That's how good this kid played. And how rare it is for an amateur to go in and they pair them. You know, when you win the USAM, you get paired with the previous year's winner. So he played with Scotty Scheffler, #1 player in the world. So he was nervous on that first tee, just with everything that comes with playing at Augusta and playing with the past champion. And he comes out and went birdie eagle. He hooped it, chipped in on #2 to make eagle. So he couldn't have had a better start. And just played flawlessly. I don't think he missed but 1 fairway. So he had a pretty stress-free round, and salute to him. That's an incredible round of golf, especially your first round there. Yeah, hats off to him. He played incredible. Kid's got game.
So does John Rahm, Michael. 7 under yesterday after that double. The Spaniard's beard is strong at the Masters.
I mean, just watching his interview he's got some fire to him. Obviously what a talent he is. He 4-putted the first hole and then played 9 under from there. that's golfing your ball. I look for him to hang in there, especially. It's kind of like if you want to, you could almost compare that to Tiger's. I'm not going to go into Tiger's first win, but how Tiger started off his Masters that first year. He stumbled around and then all of a sudden caught fire and never stopped. So it could be one of those. I think everybody was worried about the weather today, and honestly, it looks like almost primo scoring conditions for these guys. No wind, pretty soft right now. Like if they're gonna get it, this could be the day. I might have said the opposite of that yesterday. But they did shoot low yesterday. I was expecting those scores out of this. Obviously, as talented as all this field is, so I still think there's some guys at 2 under that have a chance. You got Dustin Johnson, he's 2 under today for the tournament. Jordan Spieth had a heck of a round yesterday. If he didn't throw some shots away on 11 and 13,
he puts 2 in the water and still shoots 3 under. Are you kidding me?
Really? Yeah. Some questionable decision making, a little aggressive on the first day, but still, he'd have been almost tied for the lead, I think, without that. So
yeah, well, and he's at 5 now because he just birdied back to back 2 and 3. And kind of to the point we just made a minute ago. So you got Spieth. The big names are they're there. They're lurking. We know that Koepka's at the top, but guys, everybody, all these big names that are in the good numbers here. You're talking about Morikawa, Day, Spieth. Here they come. Schauffele, the guy that won it last year. His name's Scotty Scheffler. Everybody remembers him, right? He's at 3 under. He has 1 over today through 4, but we know that at some point in time he's going to make a run. At least I think we know that, right? So the cut's at 1 over. Where do y'all think it's going to end up being by the end of the day? Think it stays there? Does it slide back? They're going to get weather this afternoon. So
I personally think it'll probably fall to 2, maybe. I don't see it going past that. That's just my opinion, but
I totally agree.
Yeah. 2 over.
I think so.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, it's at 1 over now. Well, the dude that's there's a couple of guys that are sitting right on it. If it gets to 2 over, right now they're behind it. One's name is Tiger Woods, and the other's name is your boy Rory McIlroy, Meredith, who's going to really need to kick it into gear because both of them are 12 shots off the lead here.
I tell you what, he cannot get off to a good start at the Masters, and I can't figure that out. No. What is that?
What was he last year in the final round? Was he 8 under?
8 under on Sunday.
Okay.
To finish second. I mean, because he put himself in such a hole. Yesterday he was, he's behind trees. He can't hit a fairway. I mean, that stresses you out, and it's so difficult. Gosh, from the fairway to hit it in a 10 by 10 on some of these greens, and you're not hitting fairways. I mean, it's just you're grinding all day. It's just so tough.
Michael, what about Tiger? I mean, obviously he's still always going to be the story. I can't help it but watch him, and every time he birdies, you think, okay, we're still stuck in that old school Tiger Woods mentality, right? Oh, here he comes. But for every one he hits, he seemingly gives one right back. He birdied 15 and 16 yesterday. He bogeys out on 18. So, just diagnose his game and what he's been going through from an injury standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, so I actually had heard from some guys out there. I think his leg might be getting worse. I don't know the facts on that, but I don't think it's getting any better, which is kind of scary, right? I mean,
yeah,
probably if it had been one of us on the call today when he had his wreck, they'd have more than likely amputated it, but it was Tiger Woods, and they figured out a way to piece it together. So if that's the case, health-wise, this could be his last go-around. I mean, that place is hard to walk, period. And then you add on all the mental stuff on top of it. I mean, I know he knows the golf course well, but you still got to stay in it mentally. My golf nerd side, I looked at a bunch of stats yesterday. He actually played pretty well. I mean, he didn't putt real well yesterday. So in my heart, I think Tiger could come out today and shoot 68. Will it happen? I don't know, but I'd really like to see him play the weekend. Obviously, I think we all would. It would be exciting to have Tiger there, and the ovations. As I mentioned yesterday, when Bill and I played, when I was caddying for Bill and he played with Tom Watson, he got a standing ovation on every tee box and every green that we played that final round. It was one of the coolest things. It's hard to pay attention to the golf because you're watching all that. I can only imagine what Tiger will get this weekend if that is the case. Like, it'll be a very, very special moment, I think. So,
yeah.
But again, it's Tiger Woods. The swing looks good to me. I don't know. I wish he could today.
Well, he was 71% yesterday and keeping it in the fairway. I think somewhere 71.4%. I think is the number I saw. Right. So I mean, that's great.
It's awesome.
And one of his greatest characteristics that we know of with Tiger Woods is even when he missed, he was so good at creating a shot that got him right back, where he needed to be, unlike most who could do that. And yesterday, he's sitting in the fairway 7 out of 10 times, essentially, if you want to use that to equate the numbers. And like you said, what was he, 1.9 or something on the green? So
I think so, yeah.
He lost some putts up there. Yeah. So he's got to get better. So I want to piggyback, though. You mentioned when you caddied for Bill Haas back in 2010 and 2011. Meredith yesterday was talking about Bones and what he is meaning to JT. We know Tiger's caddy history and how important it's been to him. So I know you've caddied more than just Augusta, but describe for us caddying Augusta, because I don't know anything about it. How does that team work with golfer? It's your job to know, right? Like, did Bill look at you like, well, how far in am I here? Did you stutter? And he's like, you don't know. What are you doing? Like, describe the caddy relationship and what your job as a caddy is out there and get in maneuvering your way through the course.
So I believe the caddy, in my mind, the caddy player relationship. I mean, these guys are already super talented. They know how to play golf, but they need a sense of comfort when they get on the golf course that they're going to have correct numbers, correct yardages, correct winds, correct thoughts, also helping them go through their process. I think that's what Bones does for JT. When the best caddies help their players when they're not that good at the time. When they're on fire, you can just kind of stand back and, lead your horse around and they're going to be fine. But when things get a little off, that's when a caddy really comes into play to slow things down. Let's think through things so we let's don't compound mistakes. The Masters week in general, and I wouldn't want to say this, that we didn't work hard every week, but that week, it's a tough golf course. Missed shots are very penalizing. So, I mean, that week, I mean, every morning we would, most of them, I would get up. I would be, one of the first few there, whether we had a morning tee time or an afternoon tee time. I'd walk the entire golf course when they're setting the pins, see where those are. Even though we get a pin sheet, I still go out and do those numbers, sit around, watch some golf, see how the balls are reacting on the greens, see how they're bouncing in the fairways, because it's all about numbers. It's a numbers game out there. They want to fly it off the tee 275 and it pitches to 282. That way we got 140 into the green, and that's the perfect number. I mean, that's how every hole goes, So it's a lot of it's being really prepared and them having that comfort that they know that you've done your work so they can go play golf, because that's all they want to do. They don't want to be thinking. There's enough distraction out there for them to have to start thinking about other things.
So you walk the whole course in the morning. I walked my neighborhood this morning. After about 45 minutes, I was like, I'm going to head back to the house. So
that's also why if anybody asks me to walk now, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll take a cart.
Yeah, give me the cart. Yeah, exactly. I don't play golf without a cart. I think JC said that the other day. I think I want to start playing golf. He's like, but I'm going to be in the cart. I'm driving the cart. And JC,
and
by the way,
that's the hardest walk on tour, by the way.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Because we've been talking about Tiger, and he's having to walk this essentially on one leg.
It's brutal when you're healthy.
Yeah. What is it? Because you played out there, Meredith. I've never been to the Masters. It's a dream. They tell me every year I can't go because I don't ever get the lottery. but everybody that I know that's played Augusta, or caddied Augusta. I know somebody right now that's caddying Augusta, by the way. It's related to somebody in Carolina baseball. I have to tell you off the air. Or been to Augusta. They go, TV does it no justice.
No, it's true.
You have no idea until you get out there.
It's true. Until you get your feet on property, you have no idea because you can't see the elevation changes on television. Hitting shots. When I was watching coverage yesterday, and it just reminded me, Rory's got like a 10-degree slope, probably ball above his feet. And you can't tell, I know it because I physically walked it, but you can't tell that he's got this insane lie that he's trying to hit off of, ball above his feet. He's on the slope, downhill slope. It's such a hard shot. And it's so hard to appreciate that when you're watching it on TV, if you've never been there and you've never seen that elevation changes. So yeah, until you've been there, it's tough to explain it if you haven't actually seen it.
Michael, one of the things you hear more about this tournament is certain players like Tiger. The reason that that you never want to count them out going into it is they know, quote, where to miss. How, explain that to me. Maybe an example of a hole or two out there where we're watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the guy, he just split the fairway, and you're like, yeah, that's not where you want to be. Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, there's certain places you look at. Number 5 comes quickly into mind. The back left or front, excuse me, I should say middle left pin on 5. The area, it might be 10 feet that you can land it on. If you miss it left, you're basically down by 6T. You're in the trees behind it. The pin on today on 6 I saw is on the top right. I mean, that area again is about a 10-foot circle to land it on, maybe. If you miss it short, it's a really tough, up and down from there because the ball keep continuously rolling back to your feet. Almost
it could
every
be
hole
it could be
has
like
something like that.
It could be like a 60-footer.
Yeah, it could.
Right?
Be. Yeah. Yeah. 9, you don't ever want to miss long on 9. You got no chance there.
What about 13? Because you always see guys attack the middle left of because the green runs left to right? The pins. Okay. So why is everybody always attacking the middle of the green on the left side?
Because there's a bank there that'll actually hold that shot. The funny thing is, though, if you miss it left of the green, it's actually really difficult up and down. That's what's the trouble. When you see guys miss it left, they're really frustrated because they know they're kind of dead. It's interesting with the changes, I think, this year that some of the guys are potentially laying up or going for it. I didn't see where that pin was today, so it'll be interesting. Because I did see some guys landed it on yesterday, that back pin, and landed in the middle of the green and had some opportunities there. But they try to miss left because the water kind of runs with the green, obviously, on Ray's Creek. So, but far left is really bad. So there's that's your risk reward hole there. You're like, hey, I'm gonna see what kind of game I have, and I'm gonna attack this shot and go from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the whole locations now. Forgive me while I turn my head here because I'm trying to figure out. That's the Race Creek is. So the pin is on the left side today.
Okay, so it's up on the shelf on the left,
it's up on the shelf,
middle, which is a really small area too. So guys will probably be going for it in 2. Will try to be hitting it into that slope. It'll feed down the right and putt up. If they miss it left of the green, that's where you see some guys making some big numbers potentially, or making bogey when they're trying to make eagle. Yeah,
and you got a couple of bunkers you got to make sure that you don't fly it into on the backside of that green as well, right?
Exactly. Those are really difficult bunkers.
JC, are you taking notes?
Yes.
He's like flying bunker. What?
I know what the bunker is.
Who's flying? Where are they?
The sand trap, right? The bunker's the sandbox. Like Robin Williams is like, I gotta put a sandbox
just to mess with you.
A swimming pool. All right, so yeah, I'm taking notes. I'm just wanting to know who to get on my app and throw $5 on today. That Brooks guy sounds good.
It's Brooks Koepka at 4 million to 1 odds.
Yesterday I was listening intently to these two. I was like, all right, I got it on him, and that sounds good there. Those odds look good. They'll pay out.
It's such a great leaderboard, though. You've got, Scotty didn't have his best. He's 4 under. John Rahm overcoming the 4 putt. He shot 9 under on 17 holes. Spieth hits 2 in the water. He's still 3 under. It's a great leaderboard. It's going to make for a fun weekend for sure.
I was feeling you on Rory too, Meredith, and I jumped all over that one for more.
I'm telling you,
more than $5 on that one.
Listen to me.
I think Jason Day's he's having a good year. He's reworked his golf swing.
Yes.
His back's healthy. He's been having a great year, and I think he got it to 7 today. Now he's back to 6, but still, he's
playing great.
He's in some good shape for the weekend as we look right now.
Hey, anybody know who finished tied second last year?
Rory.
With who?
Dustin Johnson.
Victor Hovland.
Oh,
guess where Victor Hovland is right now.
Up toward the top.
Tied for second. So
we're just overlooking him. That shirt he wore yesterday, he blended in with
that
all
shirt.
the
Oh my! I was going to ask you, Mike. Talk to me about the shirt. If they paid you that much money, would you still wear it?
I couldn't do it.
I can't. I mean, come on now, Victor.
I'm too much of a traditionalist sometimes.
You don't do that at the Masters.
No.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's got game, man. I like watching that kid play. He's fun to watch. He looks like he's just loving being out there, and he's got the shots in the bag. There's no doubt. Well, I mean, I agree with you. I do think that when we get to Sunday or Monday, more than likely, you're going to see the big names in golf competing to win this thing. Hats off to the amateurs and all the other cats that are trying to get it figured out, but it's hard for me to find a way that this thing goes without the biggest names in golf being in contention. We'll see if DJ can get going. He's 1 over today. He's at even par, so he's got plenty of work to do. But Howard, my pick is Colin Morikawa, and he's at 5
under. A couple
under.
birdies, didn't he?
Yeah, he's 2 under today. He birdied 2 and birdied 4. I know somebody earlier said he had birdied 5. He was 5 under through 5. No. He birdied 2. He's at 5 under for the tournament, but he didn't have 5 straight birdies. Are you still staying where you are? You still with Scheffler, Michael?
I think so. I mean, looks like he's gotten it back to 4. No, but he's still at 3 under, but I think so. I mean, he had to be grinding on the last hole to beat that amateur yesterday. That didn't sit well with him at night. I mean, hopefully he makes some birdies. He's got some holes coming up. 8 obviously is a reachable hole for him. So I'm going to stick with him right now. He's hard not to ride.
Meredith?
No, I agree because he didn't have his best putt. He was burning the edges yesterday. So for him, those putts start going in today. He's right in the mix.
So but who's your pick? Scheffler's your pick to win it?
I said that's not a bad pick at all. You got to
go.
Yeah,
with don't avoid the question. Don't avoid the question. Who's your pick? Come on.
I didn't even give an official pick yesterday.
Well, you got to give one today because
you
we're signing off for the
you
weekend.
wanted Rory, but I could tell you wanted, but you didn't. You didn't quite
I
go
didn't
all
go
in.
for the pick because he
Here's
never
your
plays
chance to back out of that.
He never plays well in the first round, and that bothers me. I don't know what that is, but
Well, we're giving you a free one here. You can back out, or you can hold strong.
I'm going to go John Rahm.
Fair enough.
JC?
Anybody can shoot 9 under on 17 holes at Augusta.
By the way, whoever wins this, JC is going to send $10,000 to. Show him, Phil. Prove it.
To the Masters, yeah.
Whoever wins this is going to get $10,000 in the mail. So I have both of your email addresses. There it is.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Literally, I will email you that $10,000 right there.
Yeah, 10 grand. This is we still have it because we never paid the guy that won the March Madness tournament.
Still
the
in the
ink
mail.
still dries.
Yeah, we got. I don't even know who won it.
Exactly.
Send the 10,000 to, you know. It's some weird name, you know.
Sorry, man, we can't.
Phil Mickelson's 1 under. That sounds good to me.
You're okay.
I'm kidding.
All right, then
he was 20,000 to 1, so I did throw $5 on him just in case a miracle happened.
Yeah,
I like Phil Mickelson, you know. But no, I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna go with Jason Day, I guess now, since I wrote that name down from from what Michael was kind enough to share with us. So that's good, and all that. So yeah, I'm going Jason Day. I don't know about Phil. I don't know what Phil's pick.
Oh,
Phil?
Let's throw a dart here. Let's see. You know what?
Let's go, Phil.
How about
just take Koepka, you little bandwagoners, you and JC.
I was going to go Dustin Johnson. What the heck?
Oh, you're going to join Michael Maness and myself. You know,
yeah.
Don't look at the top
I
of the
threw
leaderboard.
Dustin Johnson. That's the first $5 I put on there when I was doing it because it's the first name I recognized.
But he just double bogeyed 7, so maybe that was.
See, I should never speak about this.
Maybe that'll fire him up.
That's right.
Never speak about this.
Double
and before we go, Michael, can you tell our audience about this tournament you have coming up in July?
Yeah,
I heard the commercial and the word Caledonia. That's my brother's favorite course. So, wanted you to touch on that for our audience out there.
Yeah, no, it's great. So July 21st and 22nd, we're hosting the Plunder on Pawleys. This is our 3rd year. We've joined this year with the Salty Golfer. He's got a big presence down in Myrtle Beach. Hosts a lot of golfers throughout the country that come in and play some golf with him at different golf courses. Playing Caledonia True Blue is 2-man teams. First day is a Texas Scramble. Make it a little bit easier. You get to pick the best drive and play in from there. And then the last round is best ball. It's $500 per person, $1,000 for the team. You get $300 each in gear. Tee gift from Live Forever Golf, which is a cool company that Matt Every has started, and Pinfold head coverage, which is a nice, cool head cover, and there's also some different items thrown in there. Drinks, food, pre-party, all that's included in your entry fee. It's a great time. I mean, we've had a blast the last few years, and we're looking for this year to be the biggest, and we're just going to keep building it until it's the biggest one in South Carolina. So we're extremely excited about it. It's open to anyone now. We do give Traveling Country Club members first couple months to sign up, and then we open it up to the free world. So come all Gamecock fans. We'll take you, and we'll have a good weekend. It's fun.
What is the we know travelingcountryclub.com, but is there anywhere else where they can find registration?
Sign-ups on there, or you can go to our Instagram, Traveling Country Club, or Salty Golfers Instagram. But sign-ups on our website, travelingcountryclub.com. There's a link in there for the Plunder. You click on it, sign up, you'll be right in.
I'm trying to get Smoke to play. He's trying to figure out if he can or not. So he might be a better golfer than he was a baseball player now. He's shooting it, man. He's down in St. Augustine for the week right now. And I said, awesome. This is how I know he's getting old. I said, oh, you going to fish? No, I was playing golf. Oh, boy, how times have changed. He used to not travel without his pole, but now it's without his clubs.
I like it. Meredith, get Meredith down there to get some of our members' lessons. A lot of them need it. I need it. Yeah. I'll try to get better every day too. So
absolutely. Yeah, well, I think Gamecock family.
Y'all need to link up anyways. I'm sure y'all can piggyback on each other. McKellarEnterprises.org. McKellar, I think I wrote .com earlier. I didn't mean that. McKellarEnterprises.org is where you can go, and Meredith will get you shaped up and ready to go play, and maybe you can win. Hey, the purse in that thing it's like it could be up to 10 grand, 12 grand.
It could be up to 12.5. Yeah. Based
Whoa.
on membership. Yeah.
We'll be able to pay off our debt, JC. We got to get out at the range, man.
And that's fully handicapped. This is all a handicapped event, so it's as fair as it can be for everybody.
Okay, Mayor, how fast can you make me good?
I got you, Phil.
Feels like
it's like 12.
Happy Gilmore over here. He's
Yeah.
like,
As soon as Phil gets off, he's going to be in front of his camera with Meredith. Like, so
That's
it's
right.
all in the hips. Working it. Circular. All right. Hey, great stuff. Really do appreciate y'all clearing your schedules for us. I know we kept you way longer today, but you're so good. So, we really do appreciate it. And we appreciate your partnership more than anything. It really means a lot to be able to help grow your businesses through our platform. And they're both great businesses. And we really appreciate that. And we'll see who's right on Monday, and somebody will send 10 grand in the mail too.
Thanks for having
it'll be a $10,000 bill. $10,000 bill will come your way.
Like literally a bill. Somebody's going to owe us 10 grand. Yeah.
Roll it up,
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Meredith.
Guys. Thank y'all. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great Masters weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter.
And go Gamecocks.
Happy Masters and go Cox.
Yeah, right out here in about 20 minutes. They get it going again.
Yep,
so,
that's right.
See you
All
guys.
right, it's time for a timeout, an overdue one. So we'll hit that, and when we return, couple of quick segments, but we're not done. We still got stuff to get through. We'll take you right up to first pitch between Carolina and LSU. We are powered by Electric Bikes of Charleston, electricbikescharleston.com. We'll be right back.
If you're in the upstate of South Carolina and are in need of residential real estate services, Cindy Bass Searfoss of Caldwell Banker Kane is for you. Ask her about the village at Creekside, all of her listings in my hometown of Spartanburg, South Carolina, right there on Daniel Morgan Avenue, married to a lifelong Gamecock fan. And many of our listeners have already bought homes from her and been 100% satisfied with the detail and care she uses. Cindy Searfoss, 864-414-5271, Caldwell Banker Kane in the upstate for your real estate needs.
Coach O here, and when I'm not eating average jambalaya or celebrating endless summer in Destin, I like to eat pimento cheese straight out the bucket. And the only pimento cheese I like to eat is from Nana's Porch. It's award-winning, it'll melt in your mouth, it's good on a cracker, it's good in a bowl, it's good on a piece of bread. Also, don't forget Nana's Porch has a hell of a food truck. It's award-winning as well, and they're here for all of your catering needs. So get online, nanasporch.com. It's good. Coach O signing off. Endless summer, go Tiger.
The preferred sign partner of Gamecock Athletics is Signorama Columbia, and they should be yours too. A full-service sign company that handles design, production, install, and service, Signorama Columbia has helped to bring to life the perfect vision for so many all across South Carolina. Owned and operated by proud Gamecock alumni, they can handle all types of signage, including interior and exterior, vehicle graphics, and more. Go to Signorama.com and find the West Columbia location, or call them at 803-407-9284. Bring your brand to life with Signorama Columbia, and go Gamecocks.
Hey man, are you sick and tired of your business computer guy?
Yes, he takes forever to call me back and doesn't always respond to the requests.
Yeah, same here. I'm paying him good money. I constantly have issues, and I'm worried he's not backing up my network and securing it properly.
You know what, Phil? Let's ask Stone Blanton.
Hey, JC and Phil, if you want a solution to your IT problems, give Heritage Digital a call. Our boy Matt Odom has a low-cost, one-price solution that will get you running right. Call 843-699-1001 or heritagedigital.com and ask for Matt. He will hook you up today and tell them Stone sent you.
This is freshman All-American Nicky Memorial of the Carolina Gamecocks, and you're listening to The Show with JC and Phil.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Gamecocks, the show, presented to you by Express Sunrooms of Columbia. 803-446-4662 is how to get in touch with John and his team to talk about how they can get some more sunshine into your life this summer.
Ain't no sunshine when
she's gone.
JC, we've got an update here from Uphill Cannot talk to these 10 a.m.ers are killing me. An update.
What it is here? It's early mornings, man.
Man, it's not even 11 o'clock here yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna add
get
to
me up
Owen.
early.
I know.
Owen.
I know. We've switched him to Owen McGranahan. But in beer, pale ales, I'm going to call him Owen Pale Hale.
Actually, pretty good one there.
Grab you an OPH.
Yeah, appreciate that there, Mr. Beef. But according to Pale Hale, he's got a quick update here on Tank Booker. Apparently, he is set to
announce
make a decision here soon, right?
Yeah, I didn't know Ohio State was in the mix. That's kind of an interesting team. Sometimes Ohio State will offer a guy and maybe not want to take him or whatever, so you don't know. But he is from Cincinnati originally. So just to kind of, if you're fighting the home team there and they really want him, that could be a tough pull. I mean, the kid played in the Big Ten at Maryland. I mean, obviously, Ohio State is a tremendous program, and it's his home state. So I didn't know. I thought the Gamecocks maybe were kind of battling A&M and Arkansas, but we'll see how it turns out. Because sometimes a kid will put a team in his top 5, and they're not really doing much with him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But Hale said he felt pretty good. That's kind of the feedback I've gotten. So we'll see. And I don't.
Okay.
I don't ever count this staff out in any scenario. I've learned that.
No.
I mean, it's like, he is from Ohio. He does have an Ohio State offer, but maybe they get him. Who knows? I mean, that's these guys do a great job. I think we've seen that, and it's only getting better. I mean, it seems like every day I read something that's kind of even a guy that's covered recruiting for as long as I have, it surprises me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what about
oh,
what about the kid from Utah State and McClendon? What's the timeline on their announcements?
Good feedback on both. I'm not sure of a timeline on either. I think the kid from Utah State may come relatively quick, but and maybe McClendon too. I'm having a hard time kind of getting a beat on who else is after McClendon. I don't think it's anybody that's that difficult to overcome. So we'll see what happens there. And then AJ, of course, I think is Washington. Washington State, obviously, right there. I mean, he could probably throw a rock and hit the campus from his house.
Ride an electric bike.
Yeah, Pasco's in the same kind of southeastern Washington area. So I think it's going to be a matter with him. Does he want to go back home, or does he want to come to his new home, as they say, the welcome home here at South Carolina? So we'll see what happens. I'm probably going to follow up with some contacts this weekend about some different matters about football, and I'm sure these guys will come up. So I'll have more.
Pertaining to this weekend, anything else on the football docket we're not aware of outside of practice?
Probably some unofficial visitors. Obviously, next weekend, JB, with the daggum spring game. There's a load of visitors coming in, so they probably will not have heavy foot traffic visitor-wise this weekend. But there could be some guys locally that come through. Just like David Sanders was there yesterday and had a lot of great things to say about, his visit right up the road in Charlotte. And, had some – I mean, they did it right. They got – these guys always seem to do well with everything. So we'll see what happens moving forward.
It is 11:47. I know we've got one more to squeeze in here. When we return, we will set the final stage for Carolina and LSU games 2 and possibly 3 coming up today, and then you get the weekend off. You won't have to worry about whether Carolina wins or loses Saturday and Sunday. And if you haven't been around, maybe don't know who, we'll tell you who will be at both Carolina Rise events coming up here soon. 20 days away from the first one, 22 from the second in the Low Country. So don't go anywhere inside the Gamecocks from the Signorama Studios. And this week, teed up by TravelingCountryClub.com. We'll be right back. pool, and boat are quickly approaching. Many of us don't have the time to hit the gym, but Charleston Fitness Equipment can change that for you. Outfit your home with a treadmill, elliptical, or my favorite, a home rower that allows you to row with the pros all over the world. They have free weights, home gyms, flooring, and much more that makes keeping or getting in shape much more convenient. Located in Mount Pleasant, visit CharlestonFitnessEquipment.com for more. Get in shape like our Gamecocks. Charleston Fitness Equipment, proud partners of Inside the Gamecocks, the show.
Are you looking to buy a new home? Kevin O'Connell with Union Home Mortgage is a local mortgage expert and Gamecocks fan servicing North and South Carolina. Whether you're buying a home, building your dream home with new construction, or turning your equity into cash, UHM's world-class service will ensure you find the perfect mortgage to achieve your home ownership goals. Call Kevin at 803-906-0244 or visit UHM.com today. Union Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS 2229, LONMLS 1772182.
Daddy, I want you to take me to Disney World.
Calm down, calm down. JC is here. As y'all know, folks, the family and I have visited Disney World many times, but it can be overwhelming, especially if it's your first time going to the most magical place on earth. I highly recommend WhereThisRoadLeads.com and my friend Cherie, a certified Disney vacation planner. That's right, the mouse has given her permission to book your family vacation hassle-free. You don't know where to go, don't know where to stay, don't know where to eat, don't know what to do. It can be overwhelming. So get on WhereThisRoadLeads.com and schedule your free consultation right now. She can help you out. The prices are very reasonable. You don't pay any extra fees. In fact, she's much more reasonable maybe than booking it straight through Disney. So for your next Disney vacation, or, more likely your first, so you don't panic, go to WhereThisRoadLeads.com and talk to Cherie, certified Disney vacation planner, a partner of Inside the Gamecocks, the show.
This is Braylon Wimmer, South Carolina Gamecock Baseball, and you are listening to Inside the Gamecocks, the show. Go Cox!
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Gamecocks, the show, brought to you by Express Sunrooms of Columbia. John B. at expresssunrooms.com is an email address to get in touch with them, to contact them about setting up an appointment to talk about maybe enclosing a porch or a patio for you this summer. Brooks just picked up another stroke. He's down 11. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks like it's going to be pretty close to 3 o'clock. And then that weather will start moving in for, so let's, look, best case scenario, they get 2 in and Carolina wins both of them. But I'd say it wouldn't be a horrible scenario to get, gets 3 in, 2 in today, gets 3 in and wins both of them. It wouldn't be a horrible scenario to just get 1 in today and win that one too. Preston Thorne asked me this morning, is it still considered a sweep if you go 2 for 2? I said, well, yeah, you can sweep a doubleheader, right? Why would, of course it's a sweep. So we'll keep an eye on that. Lineup has not changed from yesterday, except for Jack Mahoney is on the bump for South Carolina guys. And the flip side, LSU's Ty Floyd, the junior righty, is 5-0. With a 2.87 earned run average, 31 and a third, 10 walks, and 36 strikeouts. A stark contrast compared to yesterday's 5-0 from Paul Skeens, who carried just a .81 earned run average in the game with 83 Ks in 44 and a third innings pitched. So really unbelievable. By the way, his ERA, because of yesterday, has skyrocketed to 1.14.
Ugh. Trash.
Yeah, so really poor. JC, I just saw before we get to Carolina Rise stuff. I did, maybe it's somebody that heard it, or maybe somebody that was listening to us, but somebody in the message boards was asking about Tommy Moody's grand slam call from last night. And again, it was the best he's ever been. They, for whatever reason, have not been doing these recaps like they used to. But I'm going to text Derek. He's going to be a little bit busy for a little while in case anybody's wondering. He's got to call the games. But I will text Derek and figure out how they ask him, hey, man, can you release a highlight montage, somehow get your hands on it from last night? And if he can't or doesn't have time to, I'll just ask him to direct me where to go, because it's not on the Learfield site. I've looked everywhere. It's not anywhere. But if he could give me something, I'll just go in and fix it in the way we do our stuff with Audition, and I'll put it out there as long as they okay it, because I know a lot of people want
that'd be great.
So so I'll try to, if Derek can't do it, I'll just try to at least get it out for us. Hey, Carolina Rise events are coming up, JC, and I think one of the things I can't wait to see the most is this group of offensive linemen have a wing eating contest.
Oh, yeah. We got Sidney Fugar, Nick Gargiulo. I talked to actually Vershawn Lee, Ja'Kai Moore, and Trey Jones last night. Tyshawn Wanamaker supposed to be there, and Jalen Nichols. So the whole group of offensive linemen, probably everybody except Case and Henry that's probably going to play this year, will be there. And you got to feed those guys, right? And the wing eating contest, first prize $500 cash, right? Also talked to our friends at Palmetto Autographs are going to be there sponsoring the event. They're going to have a lot of their they can do way more than I can as far as signed stuff and memorabilia. And so they're going to be there, and a portion of their sales go to the fundraiser. We're going to have mini footballs there for everybody that has a ticket, where you can get players to sign $10, $20, something like that. And included in your ticket admission, of course, is food. Kids under 7, no ticket required.
Wait, hold on. This is always an argument with people. Is it under 7 or 7 and under?
7 and under. Look, and nobody's going to be checking ID, right?
You better bring your 7-year-old.
You show up with your kid, as long as it's a kid and not a middle schooler, because the middle. Trust me, we just had 2 middle schoolers tear through our house in those 3 years. Now you got to pay for them to eat, man.
Yeah.
those jokers will eat. They'll be going back for fifths. We got football players to feed, but no, nobody's going to be sitting there going, "Give me your kid's birth certificate at the door." This isn't Disney, right? Yes. There's no magic band. So just bring your kids. Okay, is my point. As long as you have an adult ticket, now look, don't abuse it. I mean, don't buy one adult ticket for $40 and bring 6 kids. Let's try to at least have a mom and or 2 parents or 2 adults. All that. But yeah,
let me clean this up for you. I know. Let me just say it very sternly so people understand this. This is a fundraiser for the football players. This isn't JC and Carolina Rise and his brother Cam taking a bunch of money and shoving it in their pockets. If you don't want to support the football players, don't come. That's fine. But if you do come, understand that you're stealing money from NIL. You can complain and bitch about NIL all you want to, but if you're going to try to shortchange people at a NIL event, kind of double-sided. So this is an NIL event to help these guys.
But I also don't want a family of 4 to have to pay $200 to come. I mean, it's not right. The cost of the kids coming is not going to. I mean, you get them. I mean, I don't know. There's little sippy cups and with straws and stuff. They can get expensive. But no, I'm kidding. It's a family. The whole point of Carolina football in general is family. That's right. So I would be a jerk if I was like, nah, the kids got to pay.
You are.
76 says he hates crowds, rather just share a brewski with some of you guys. But you should buy a ticket. Don't come to the event, and then come to the after party with me. Me and JB and Flint, we're already planning it, man. We're going to invade Flint's house. So, my friend Margot just bought her ticket. She'll be there. So, yeah, it'll be selfishly, it'll be fun to catch up with everybody. Because, like I said, I don't always get back. But, do that. Also, on the point of Carolina Rise, folks, look at what happened last night. Okay. In Kingston, this is not me talking. Mark Kingston said it on the show. Had it weren't, would it were not for Carolina Rise, i.e., and I know most all of you in the chat box are all members. Look at what you've done. Okay. And the NIL, as negative as it is, the positive is for the first time, fans and their generosity and giving and memberships to different things and supporting, because you also support local business when you support Carolina Rise, because we help promote them, kind of cross promote on the show and everywhere else. Think of what you've done. Look at this baseball team. Because Kingston said it, we would not have any of these players had it not been for Carolina Rise. And baseball is 30% of what we do. Most of it's football. And obviously that's going well as far as retention and stuff. But the baseball kids don't get full scholarships, most of them. A lot of them, Gavin Casas is a walk-on.
No,
okay?
None of them do. Actually.
Yeah,
nobody gets.
I mean, it's 11.7 to divide up. So even like $1,000 a semester goes a long way with these guys. And they're very appreciative and thankful. Like I told Whittle, I said, we may do that Cleveland Indians Amex commercial for these guys. Hey, we're the Gamecocks. We're back. Right. But there's 15 of them that you folks out there that support Carolina Rise are directly responsible for. And, Ethan Petrie included.
Petrie.
Petrie. So,
yeah.
Enjoy the game, folks. We love you.
Absolutely. Remember, Mo Caba, Marcellus Dial, Juju, Xavier Leggett, they'll all be there in addition to Mario Anderson and DeCarrion Joyner as well. So make sure you get those tickets, tell your friends, and we look forward to seeing you there. Congratulations to Aaliyah Boston, Bree Beal, Zaya Cook, and Letitia and me here. They're all invited to the WNBA draft, and we look forward to seeing them go on Monday night. But between now and then, happy Masters. Happy Good Friday, happy Easter, and go Gamecocks. Thanks for watching and listening to Inside the Gamecocks, the show from the Sinorama Studios. Thanks to Meredith Taylor, Michael Maness, and John Whittle. And always to these clowns, I guess is what y'all are called. Not me, just you. We'll see you Monday back at 11 on Inside the Gamecocks.